Hey, how's it going? Hopefully this is recording the back of the screen. It's just some gameplay. Um, so today I wanted to kind of talk about League of Legends, and kind of where I'm at with it. Um, this is probably going to be a pretty hated video because the community definitely still likes the game and they're really toxic too. Um, and I'm gonna explain kind of why that is and kind of why I don't want to play it as much anymore. This happens to everybody after playing League for a lot of time, but it's very annoying is the way to kind of just say what the game is. You play all game, you farm, right? No matter what role you are, it's pure pain. Unless you're very good at the game, and I'm just gonna start this off by saying like I am not good at the game. Okay, I am a gold player at best, and that's currently what I'm at, right? Um, and putting time in the game, I mainly try and play with friends though. I don't really like to solo queue the game. I don't really enjoy ranked by myself, uh, nor the game, for that matter. There'll be times where I'll play by myself just because I have nothing else to, you know, really do or nothing else is interesting at the time. But in general, I play this more as a social game, so I'm not really into the giant climbing aspect. Um, Unlike my one friend who is. Um, but in that case, that leads me to play ranked with him because he likes playing ranked. And this is not his fault whatsoever. But ranked is just a different beast. Even like norms are bad enough, right? Because you could just get steamrolled and the game lasts 30 to 40 minutes, especially in the elo we're in. So you just kind of get trapped in a game. One player, you might even be the one player doing good, but you still lose the game because somebody on your team died 80 times and now they have somebody that just is unkillable. Um, and the game is by no means bad, but it drains you. Um, and I honestly don't know if it's worth putting in time for even a new player. Because I only started this game like a year and a half to 2 years ago, I think. Um, and I don't know if it was worth it. I enjoy playing with my friends, and my college is a team that I'm on for it. And that's actually much more enjoyable is actually playing with a team. Because they're pretty decent. You can all communicate, and that's probably the way the game is meant to be played. Is as a five stack that communicates and actually tries to accomplish goals versus solo queue where nobody knows what anybody else is doing. Nobody, you want to blame somebody else, and that's frustrating. Um, I know Riot has gone and tried to make chat less toxic, but I don't know if that's possible at this point. Um, but it is like for example when I first started, and still to this day, like learning jungle, which is my main role, um, is just so rough. I mean, I it is one of the hardest roles, not in terms of farming, right? Because you're not going to be farming minions like that. But you just kind of need to know what everybody else is doing. You need to pay attention a lot more than other roles to like kind of how the game is going. You have to pay attention to, can I take this dragon? And that's rough to learn because you kind of have to just get punished for it. And that's then you get some hate chats and people spamming you, which is not possible anymore. But when I learned it was. Um, but as you go on, you realize like, especially if you solo queue, that you have to carry so hard to win a lot of the games. And I'm not saying it's impossible to climb. It's very clearly not. But the amount of time you have to invest to climb is extreme. Um, and I don't know how to feel about it. And the game makes me so mad. And this is kind of just more of a rant video, right? So obviously everybody has different experiences and stuff. But coming from a gold jungler, not the highest rank or anything, average at best, getting ganked, especially if these new season changes, getting ganked in your jungle every like 5 minutes is the most infuriating experience in the game, in my opinion. Especially when it's more than just their jungler doing it to you. It happens all the time now, especially after the new season. And that is the worst way the game goes for jungle, in my opinion. I'm cool with counter invades. That's fine. But the fact that solo queue players are grouping up and running down the other jungler, and that's what's winning games, is so frustrating. Um, and on top of that, they made ganking harder. So you could still do it, obviously. It's just a little different, and that's something maybe I would have to get used to again more. But man, is it really annoying to go for a dragon, which your team is complaining you haven't gotten one about, because they have fed their bot lane, which would be the ADC, right? They fed them, so you can't really go for dragon or else you get insta killed. Um, but the one you go for, uh, and then you get killed, after they complain about you not going for the dragons, but their team does, right? Their team full rotates, but your team is sitting in fountain, waiting 20 gold for an item, right? And then you still get blamed, and that's like kind of the thing about the game is you get blamed a lot in jungle especially, and that kind of just makes me really like annoyed. I know other junglers have the same experience. They're like mute all, and I do. Um, but it still drains you when the other team just invades you on repeat, and that is part of the game. Again, this is also probably because I'm not good at the game too. But I know other people have experienced the same things where the game is just draining. And the new player experience. Don't get me started about the new player experience. It is so bad. All it is Smurfs. People that have played the game probably more than 5 years now, or longer. The game's been out, what, 14 years or more, and they're making Smurfs to go Smurf in the lower ranks, and that happens in every game, right? But that's all the like new accounts are. There's almost no new players coming in, and the ones that do get filtered out because of all these Smurf accounts. You just get steamed when you start. Like when I started, I didn't do anything. I didn't know how to play until like level 60, and even then, I was still getting steamed a bit, and that's fine. But the game is hard, and there's no way to like really alleviate it at this point. There's people that play it, and there's people that just don't want to get into it. Um, my background is I'm mainly a first-person shooter player too, and the only first-person shooter that lasts as long as League games are like CS:GO and Valorant. But even then, I somebody being fed on their team is a lot of money, but they're still killable. But in this game, there is no killing them whatsoever, and it's rough. The amount of toxicity and the anger this game gives you is unparalleled for me. Um, I just I don't know how to feel about it, and I kind of think there's got to be a way to fix it, but I really don't know how. I wish I could offer a solution, but I can't, and I don't know. I'll probably play this game eventually again, as all League players do. But I just kind of wanted to vent about how abysmal the game is sometimes, and like I don't know why we as players play games that make us unhappy. Like I straight up told my friend a couple days ago that I'm just not playing the game for now. I need a break from it. And breaks are fine from games. It's you could do whatever you want. But this game makes me more mad than I think any game I've ever played. Just because the nature of it is so team oriented. And I know people disagree with that, but like my one friend who's masters in League tried out Overwatch and he said he got mad at the game because it's a team-based game. But I feel in Overwatch I could carry way harder than I can in League. And if I don't carry, then you just get out in 20 minutes max. Max. And most of the time they're 10 to 15 minute games in Overwatch. Maybe get the odd 30 minutes somehow, like quadruple overtime. But generally they're fast games and you're out of those games fast. But in League, oh, so long. And they're at least 30 minutes most of the time. It is very rare to get a 15 to 25 minute game. It's just so upsetting. And I wish I was better at the game. I do. But I also don't want to put in the time to deal with these kind of players as well. Because you have to deal with them for a long time. And that's my thoughts on the game.